Hi.
So, welcome everyone to today's episode of PRODcast. Today we have a very special guest, and he is connected with me right via Zoom from Berlin, and he wants to share today his story about frustrated product managers and what he knows and learned about this, and how he is trying to solve it as well. So, Richard, welcome.
Hi, Sören, nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you.
Maybe you shortly want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I started quite some years ago, 2013 actually, in product management in Hamburg, in a gaming company, then changed to a completely different category, which is B2B for employee feedback. That's had always been at my heart, because I found feedback for myself and my own career and the career of the product managers I was responsible always so important, that I really wanted to work on a product that was concerned that is wide about this topic. And then I changed into another company which is about opinions as well, where I'm at the moment working at. And now I'm actually looking into something to start for my own, which is called Product Peers, which I'm very happy to talk to you about.
Sure, but before we get to that, you probably want to tell us a little bit how you get to exactly the thoughts that brought you to this new idea, right? So
Sure.
maybe you want to tell us a little bit about the problem that you faced, and just go ahead and tell us your story. What you realized.
So I was for myself. I had the situation of being the only product manager for quite some time in different organizations. And it was then very difficult to discuss some of the questions which are concerning product. Yes, of course, you can discuss with everybody in your organization. You can discuss with sales, with your developers, with the designer, and so on, with the CEO. But there is a piece of your work which is so product specific that it's very difficult to find somebody in your company to discuss this with. And usually you need somebody to challenge your own ideas, challenge the ideas that you maybe heard from other product managers, whether they will work for you or not, and how to apply all of this. This is something I always needed somebody to talk to. And that was not easy. I didn't find so many people to talk to. So I did make use of a lot of friends, of former colleagues, and try to always arrange meetings with them to discuss my issues that I see, which is quite some work, but it was always very beneficial for me. And I found out that actually I'm not the only one having those issues. Mm-hmm. I found that many product managers have a lot of challenges.
How did you find that out? Like, where did you see that?
Yeah,
actually being a problem?
Actually, I was wondering whether there really is a need to do something, and I made a survey. I started with this last month in June, and I asked some simple questions like, who did you turn to overcome the last time a work career issue frustrated you? I asked them how they educate themselves, I already got more than 100 replies, which is really great, and which leads me to understand a bit better what's going on there. And most of them really have problems which are ranging from representing the product, which means, okay, I'm the one to talk to when it comes to all questions product. Sometimes this is the CEO, sometimes it's even the sales person in an organization. And I can stand for the value that I bring into the company. Everybody knows about this. I can show off my success, but as well, and this is very difficult, my uncertainties that I have, because you can only be a good product manager if you openly say as well, okay, what don't we know yet? And what do we need to research and discover? Mm-hmm. And I found that many product managers really have an issue with this. There's something that's called even the imposter syndrome. So the idea is that you always feel that somebody who's actually not fit for the job, who doesn't know anything, who really feels he's lacking or her's lacking skills and the knowledge to solve this issue. And this as well has a has a negative backslash to your work, because if you feel like an imposter, like somebody that's actually a criminal, how should you do a good job?
And how would that affect actually the work of a product manager? I mean, probably, I think every product manager can relate.
Yeah.
Although it is actually known for developers having that a lot, right?
Maybe, but let's say maybe other developers would find out, but usually product managers would take quite some time to find this out. But that might be true. Maybe it's even for everybody doing a job, but still I found it even harder and more substantial for product managers, because they are faced with so many different challenges, with so many different stakeholders, with so manifold tasks they have to execute, that it's even easier to say, well, I can't be strong everywhere, and I still need to pretend as if I would be strong in this area. So this makes it even stronger to be to feel an imposter. And what is the issue? If you feel like you actually, somebody will find out that you're not a fit, then you feel that you don't have the legitimation to really act on things that you would like to, how you would like to do things. So what I love to do is being very open and give a responsibility into the team and discuss everything very openly. But if you feel like they maybe want something bad or think that I'm not able, then you might not feel the confidence to do so.
And so is that the only thing, or why else would product managers feel frustrated? What exactly did you find out about that? Like,
so some product managers and product owners, depending on the organization, have issues because they see that the management is actually not agile. So they have a lot of struggles to communicate why they need to do what they need to do, the expectations sometimes is like only, okay, you are here for delivery. So we want you as a product manager to execute what we as a management have an idea of what the product should be like. And this is a huge gap from do what we want and do this. Maybe do this agile. If this helps you for your development team, so be it. From this to actually real product leadership, where you say, okay, it's not about the features that are in the backlog. It's about the open questions that we have and the problems that our customers face and how we can solve them. And this is, it seems somehow logical, but still very difficult to get there. And this is actually something where we need to work on. And there's a lot of resistance to get there in organizations, because they might be overwhelmed, they might feel understaffed, they might feel not having the knowledge. And that's something which is a big challenge for product managers and product owners in Berlin.
And that is actually even firing the imposter syndrome, right? So I, as a product manager, need to be strong. And I know the organization somehow expects something from me to take the right decisions, basically probably even the decisions they want me to take. And then I have the feeling I am probably not even on the right place here to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you lose trust of everybody when you think this yourself.
And so do you know somehow what they did so far? I mean, when you said you made research, what is your major learning there?
So I got answers from around about 100 product managers and product owners in Berlin. And we asked them, so who did you turn to overcome those issues? So who can be your ally? And around 50%, so it was multiple choice, around 50% go to their colleagues. That makes perfectly sense. And then this was really surprising. And actually it was not that surprising because I did this myself, but I wouldn't want it to be this like that. 50% as well go to their friends first to talk about work issues and career issues. Maybe it's fine for career, but especially when it's about work. What happened to me in my past So I made some friends in product management, and I really actually wanted to meet with them because I wanted to spend time with them. But what I did was I had my computer ready, and I did this with you as well. I had a prototype with me, and I was discussing my issue that I have with you, and instead of actually spending quality time or talk about things that actually really may be interesting for a longer,
it was still quality time.
It was still quality time, and it was always very valuable. So that was really something I found out for myself to be very valuable to get this feedback from other product managers. But actually I would like people to spend the time with nicer things. And after colleagues, friends, and number 3 is the manager. There's like a third of people who then turn to their managers, and that was surprising to me that this is only on the 3rd position. And interestingly, very close after your manager, around 30% as well, is already family. So they even involve
so the product managers, they're going to their friends.
Friends and family, when you put them together, are the first stop point to discuss work and career issues, which I can understand because there's a lot of trust, but it's just very sad as well that they can't find in their organizations somebody to talk to, or that they don't think about this as on the first spot. And after that, so colleagues, family and friends, your manager, then is external product managers, which could be anyone, just product managers that they meet at another place, and so on.
I'm just wondering, this is super interesting, and I'm wondering, like, my picture of other product managers is always that they're like businessmen and they're networking a lot. So this is totally new information for me, because I'm always saying people are trying to get involved, going to meetups and whatever, and that's why I always thought, okay, other product managers are probably super good in networking and talking to others. Do you have any insights about that?
Yeah, that's true. I do think that a lot of product managers are very motivated, even if they're frustrated, because you're only more frustrated if you really want to do your job well. So this is actually energy that you can use, this frustration. And there is people going to networks and network events, or to conferences and meetups. Still, it's very difficult to really solve your issue there. So when you hear and listen to somebody who's inspiring, that can help your frustration to say, okay, actually my job is really cool. But applying what you just heard in your specific situation is still something you would need somebody to reflect with. It's very hard to do this on your own, just by listening to a video or to a speaker, and then changing the way you work.
And how does that actually apply to coaches and consultancies? Because we see in the current scene that it's actually very, it's a big market, we realize now. I mean, you can see it, a lot of master classes and stuff like this is popping up. Don't they help? Like, don't they give product managers enough help?
I think it would be amazing if everybody could have a mentor or a coach. I got actually, I got to know that my in the management team of my current company, everybody has a coach. That's cool. Still, it costs a lot of money. And I asked as well, how many mentors and coaches do you use? And we have 17% who have a mentor. That's for free. That's good. Usually it's for free, and it's good to find somebody, but obviously it's only 70% that do this. 12% have a coach, which usually is quite expensive, but probably maybe one of the best ideas to really help you in your situation, because they can be very specific. Still, they might be not a product managers on their own. So maybe they can just guide you and push you towards the right direction, but they will not be able to know the answer themselves. But I think it's a great idea to get this help. And I would be happy if everybody could have a mentor or a coach. still, when you look at what it costs, it's usually like 100, 150 euros per hour, which is intense, especially for product managers that has no or smaller educational budgets.
Education, talking about education budget, right? So there would be actually a new way of solving it, right? Or what do you think about that?
So yes, it's interesting. I really wanted to know, okay, what do product managers actually do to get better? I was thinking about this myself. Okay, what should I do now to get better? And out of those 100 people, 67% are reading books, which is nice because you can get a lot of theoretical input there. 64% are reading blogs, and number 3 already is other product managers to educate yourself, which is nice when you think about the longer term development.
And that's super funny when you think about that, like when they educate themselves, then they do it also a lot with other product managers. Then there's the fun fact that they are hardly talking about other product managers. How does that actually work?
I'm not sure whether I understood this. Could you repeat, maybe?
So you said that they are mostly talking about their own products with their family and friends and stuff. So how comes they still say that when they educate themselves, they do it with other product managers? How does that find together?
Maybe
go together?
So I don't know the answer by heart, but I could imagine that it's two flip coins of the same metal. So one thing is working on a specific issue and solving it, and the other one is thinking about my long-term plan and developing more skills and maybe discussing theories or new approaches or best practices in general, which are not related to my own problems. And at the same, pretty much, so we have 60%, we have 56% who talk to other product managers, and 53% are visiting events and meetups. And when I talk to those product managers, they often tell me, okay, yes, I talk to other product managers on these events. And they say, well, the events are actually cool because I have an inspiring and motivational talk and very informative. Sometimes they can be repetitive. But what I actually would like to use more and do more with is the time that you spend before and after the talk with other product managers, which are at the same event, it's a product management event, where they actually could have the chance to go deeper into their problems. But they say it's very difficult to do so because you don't want to annoy people and you're just presenting yourself, and it's not the right moment then to say, okay, give me something. I need your help actually.
You start annoying people very quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's like a very good overview on the problem that you saw, right? So what have you been doing now lately to fix that?
So after that as well, I was asking people, whether they actually see a need in working on that. And I got a very vocal yes, we would need to do something. And I started a web page, and as a smoke test, I had no idea what the solution could be yet. And I put just up the website, and it says, we make frustrated product managers product leaders, successful product leaders. It was even longer. There was a lot of iterations. And I just put this website live. I had some text. I described the issues that I see. I had no solution so far. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to test and validate, is this a problem that other product managers are facing and would pay money for? And I just, with Shopify, within 24 hours, I created this shop. It uses a shop system because I wanted to have packages that people could pay, because payment obviously is the ultimate validation for an idea. And within the very first 24 hours since I was live, I already had the first payment, and in the next 4 days 2 more came in, which showed me, okay, wow, I have no product, I have no idea what this is, And I brought this website live. I sent it to some product managers that I didn't know yet on LinkedIn. And without any more explanation, they made bookings. Even if it was a tiny amount of money, I just asked for 4 euros. It was a completely random number. It was just about okay, is there willingness to pay? How much? That's something to find out later. And it showed success. So I thought, yes, let's make something out of this need and develop a solution.
So, and what is the solution now actually?
So yeah, what we came up with, or I came up with, was the idea of really working on issues in a 1 hour weekly virtual session. What does it mean? So during lunchtime, 12 p.m. every Friday, we meet in a Zoom session, and there's 10 to 20 peers which will then self-organized match based on issues that they face. So you can bring your own problem, the thing that last frustrated you, and or just general topics that are always very common. Sometimes they are very much the same, and then we match them in one-on-one sessions, in group sessions, and then you work on this specific issue, and you can flip sides so that you speak about the issue of somebody else, and you get a variety of possibilities how you could handle your problem. And the idea is that with every session, you come up with an action point that you can hands-on execute until the next session.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how is it working? Like, can I just sign up on your page now, or how can I be part of it?
Yeah, you can just sign up. It's the website is called product-peers.com. And you can get a 4 weeks trial. At the moment, everybody's in trial because we just started last month. Mm-hmm. And then you just pay once 10 euros as a self-payer. That's an early bird offer. It will be a bit more later on. And then you are in, and you can pay as you want for additional contributions if you see value in the sessions. If not, you probably want to drop anyways. But we try to make this very entertaining because we have different formats. So it's not always the same thing. So as I said, sometimes it's one-on-one, sometimes it's group, sometimes there might be an input. I'm really excited actually about giving some input as well on techniques that I've learned, like the product cutter or the delegation poker. It's really fun tools that I explored in some trainings or from other product managers that I would like to try out and to show other product managers and get their feedback on how they like it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the idea is really to come up with an action point. So to say, you write down this action point for yourself and your session, and you present what you want to do and want to change to the other peers, so that everybody has an idea of what was happening in the other breakout rooms, because you will present, okay, this is what my problem was, and this is what I'm going to do and to try out. And then this is something where we have a mutual learning, even if we have not worked on the issue of somebody else. And I asked as well within the sessions how much value they see. And the peers see around about 8.3 of 10 value in the action point that they came up with. And then they will execute, 50% of them will execute it until the next session they join on this action point. So
very actionable somehow.
Exactly. So it's not just having a talk and listening to something and just being there and passive and receiving from a frontal speaker. It's really about you solving an issue and coming out with something that you can use in your daily work.
Mm-hmm. But how do you make sure that the right people meet? Like, I can imagine that I'm getting there and I have my problem and I'm working in a big corporate, for example, and I have very specific problems and I want to get them solved somehow or want to get some insights. And when I'm now talking to someone who's like, doesn't even have experience in a corporate company or just founded a startup and is totally somewhere else with his head, how I can imagine that it's really can really also backfire, right? So I probably get the bad advice, or I don't get any because they can't help me, they can't relate.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So it's about how to do a matching system, yeah, how to bring people together. And I was thinking with you as well and other people, I was thinking and discussing, okay, how could we do this? And I was discussing with the head of HR of a big investor in Berlin, and he did a mentoring system. He put this in place, which I liked as well. I had the pleasure to have a very experienced CPO as my mentor. Still my mentee, she was actually on the same experience level, or she was even more experienced in at some extent than me. And I asked then this head of HR how this mentoring works, and he says, well, the matching actually was always over-engineered and it didn't pay out. The one thing that was important was to make sure that they are working in the same area. And that's what we do with product peers, because all product peers are product managers, product owners, with several degrees in their seniority. And the idea is that we are all mentors and mentees at the same time. Why? Because we have specific experiences from our unique environments. And even if you are a very junior product manager in a big organization, you might have known and experienced more about big organizations than a head of product that was for 6 years only in startups. So there is already a lot of knowledge in there, and we try to leverage this by using some techniques from unconferences like open space formats, and let people decide what they would like to discuss about and who they would like to discuss with, so they can match themselves, which makes more sense to me than me trying to be the big mentor and matchmaker.
Okay. And okay, so that was a lot of insights now. What are the next steps? Like, where are you standing right now, and where do you want to go with all this?
Yeah, so good question. At the moment, this week we are having the last round of the very first trial. So there's like 160 people that got an invitation and are in trials. And right now I was doing another survey to ask, okay, did you participate? And then I wanted to find out, okay, why didn't you participate, or why did you? What were your expectations? Were they met? And what is the one wish that product peers could do for you to understand, okay, what is really the need, the job to be done that product peers needs to execute? And I would be happy to have an open network that is really helping product managers where they really see value in, that they would say, yes, that's something that's mandatory actually for my week, because I do want to help other product managers, but I do want to get help as well if I need it on my problems. And there's one thing, and that's enough for another podcast, talking about the positioning of product management in Berlin, which is very different from the perception of product management in UK and the US market. Nice insight that I found out from the many interviews that I did in the last weeks.
Oh, okay. That's super interesting. I would love to hear more about that. So maybe we're going to come right back to that later.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Super cool. Okay. Anything else you would like to share with the community, with the listeners?
Yeah, I would like to really invite to everybody who wants to join, be it junior, mid-level product managers, or senior people. So we have all of this mixed together, mostly junior to mid. Still, it's open to everybody, because, as I said, even the senior people said, yes, I learned something new that I didn't know before. And it's a very easy to join format. Yeah, it's virtual. It will stay virtual after Corona as well. It has a focus on Berlin at the moment, because we want to have beers for peers, so we can meet and mingle, and we want to have a product lunch as well. so we can meet in person as well, and you can have a longer relationship with your product peers and turn them into a pal. This idea, this network is here to stay, that's for sure. And I invite everybody to join 1 month for free. If you want to be pay on your own, because nobody would pay this for you. It's just 10 euro once, and then pay as you want. And if you can convince your superior, your manager, that this is the right thing for you, there we even have a so-called business plan where you don't need to care about any contributions, and let this your employer cover. This is based on your education budget. So let's talk about this. At the moment, it's about 30% of your education budget, but we are flexible here as well.
Cool. Thank you very much. That would be everything about the PRODcast for today's episode. And Richard, I wish you all the best for your journey. And to the listeners from today's episode, I hope to speak to you very soon again.
Great. Thank you. Let's turn everybody into product leaders.
Yes. Thank you, Richard.
Ciao.